Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Let's talk about Growing Up Hip Hop Season 4, Episode 3. We start off with, oh my goodness, Boogie is strung out. Like, whoa, like they got videotape of him passing out, with him calling his father Damon Dash in the middle of the night. People calling his father, talking about your son's about to OD. He's on that cocaine nod. He's on that heroin nod. What the hell is going on? Like, what is going on with Boogie that he is so strung out on drugs? What led him there? Why does he feel like he needs to go there? So that's the bottom line of the problem. But right now, Boogie doesn't think he has a problem, point blank, period. He thinks he's doing good. He's going around lying. I don't know what's going on. Boogie does look healthy. He does not look like a addict, but I guess money would do that to you. And we have Angela hanging back out with Romeo, looking shopping for houses. I don't think nothing's gonna happen with that situation. Well, we got TT and Bree, feeling that Romeo, and they're battling between each other over Romeo when Romeo wants Angela. Doesn't make any sense. And then now we have Bree hearing about a rumor from Troy that, Sam is saying that Bree tried to get with him. Like, word? It's like that. Do you think Bree has that characteristics that she'll go behind Egypt's back and try to get with her boyfriend Sam? It doesn't seem like it's worth it to Bree, because Bree is more calculating and she plays chess. And, she don't have Mary J. Blige as her stepmother anymore, and her father kind of like disowned her. So this show is her job, and she's not going to interfere with her cast members by getting with Sam when Sam has no potential to actually really help Bree, unless he can, use her writing her music as a hit for somebody. But he doesn't have that prestige yet. He's not on that level, or he's not there yet. He's not elevated to be there yet. And then you have Pep sitting down with Egypt, letting her know that, hey, you're my daughter, you're mature, you're smart, I have faith in you. You learn from my situation between me and your father Tretch. And so she's having total confidence in her daughter. But does she need to have all that confidence, or should she back and take a more motherly role? But it seems like she's already taken a motherly role, because she can force Egypt to try to break up with Sam and then lose her relationship with her daughter. It's like a catch-22. Sam is not the greatest guy that you want your daughter to be aligned with, because he has 2 kids by 2 different women, one child 3 and one child 7. So it's not the ideal situation. And he's working into music, and he's a producer and things like that. He's a rapper. There's a lot of people in the same field, so it's a shot in one sometimes. But you know what, with today's technology and all the sites that we have, and how you can upload music, stream music, everything, that he really do have an opportunity to make something. Because we see 4 from Black Ink, Chicago. He's working with London on the tracks. So let's get it started. So we have Angela. She's in her photo shoot. She's looking like, Janet Jackson, Sade, Beyonce, and Aaliyah. And her sister Vanessa shows up. And Vanessa was like, yeah, oh, I like this photo shoot. Oh, I like Aaliyah. So, you see a little bit of, I want to be a part of it. You see Vanessa wants to be a part of her sister's photo shoot and want to be there with her sister. Angela doesn't show her the same type of, gratitude or the openness, because every time Vanessa has something going on, she wants Angela there to be a part of it. Or is it because Vanessa has the highest name? Because it's like Vanessa is like one of the top tiers of Ron's kids. Her and Diggy Simmons, I think his name is, are like the top tiers of all the kids. They're like the A1s. I don't mean to say it like that, but it is what it is. So moving on from that, they discuss, Romeo, and Angela's not too happy with Vanessa going back and telling Romeo that she's single. I don't know why. It's not a big deal. Angela's kind of like fed up with people trying to hook her up with somebody, because she just got out of a bad relationship, and she doesn't want to talk about that relationship, and she doesn't want to talk about a new relationship. She doesn't really want to talk about nothing. She really doesn't want to be on the show, because she's also fearing backlash, because people do be going on her IG talking about, I thought you had a promise with God, you had a baby out of wedlock, now you're a single mother. It's life. Let's move on, people. And she's not the last one or the first one to be in the situation that she's in. But on top of that, she has the finance to secure a secure life for her and her child, because you see she's shopping for houses in LA. She got the money. And if she don't got the money, Romeo would fence it for her. He'll put the money down, because Romeo, he wants him some Angela. He don't want no TT. He don't want no Briana. He want him some Angela. And even Papa knows. But Papa's not too thrilled. He doesn't want his son to be with a woman that has a child that, you know, been in a bad relationship and things like that. That's publicly. You know, very different from Pep. Pep is open to someone that's not coming from a rich environment, someone that's not coming from a silver spoon, and she's opening her home to someone that had a wooden spoon or didn't have a spoon at all to come into her life, and she's trying to help him become successful. And you have to admire Pep for doing that, because she could be standoffish. She could think that she's better. Because a lot of people do that when they see someone that's struggling or someone that's trying to come up in the industry, but they don't have the connects, they don't have the family. People like, oh, I don't want to be bothered with that person. Oh, they low. You know, they low on the totem pole. They don't want to give them a shot, when that person that actually is low on the totem pole is really very creative and really is a genius and very articulate and unique, but they don't get the opportunity because of what they were born into. So you got to give Pep props for that. Even though he's not the greatest type of person you want your daughter with, but you don't want to push your daughter away either. You want to keep the line of communication open, that she can always come to you and talk to you, that you're not going to prejudge her or try to force her to make a decision. So I think that's good on that aspect. And so we have Romeo and Master P in the studio. We got some girl playing music. You know, she's singing and rapping. So, you know, Romeo and Master P are going to get together, do an event for glasses. The Vision program, which sounds really wonderful and nice and neat. Like, it's like a great thing, because there's a lot of kids that can't afford glasses, or the glasses that the state are able to give them are the worst glasses ever that people make fun of them in. But also, you know, trying to open up a liquor line for, you know, Orlando, Florida, and the sports game or whatever, trying to put their liquor out there and want to become millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires. Well, they're already millionaires, but it's kind of awkward because you got Boogie on the other hand suffering from alcoholism. So it's kind of weird. It's a weird kind of like dynamic. So moving on from that, we get Pep and Egypt. They sit down, they have a conversation. Pep is trying to get to the nitty gritty of what's going on with her daughter Egypt, because she's hearing these rumors from Troy and from TT that, you know, Sam is aggressive, he's controlling, you know, he's using her, you know, he wants to get her pregnant. And so they have this conversation, and Egypt just reassures her mother that she knows what she wants, and if he starts acting like if he starts mistreating her or treating her bad, she knows how to run and get away from the situation, avoid mission, exit the plane, get out the situation, because Egypt says she has learned a lot from, you know, reading her mom's book and their tumultuous relationship, knowing that that's not the type of relationship that she wants to be in, and she's okay to say no, and she has her own opinions and her own thoughts. And if Sam ever act like he wanted to hit her or do anything to her, she'll run. She says she's never been abused or hit by a man, so let's keep it that way. So at this time and point, it seems like, okay, Egypt is okay, but you know, Sam is older. He's about 24, 25, and he has a little bit more experience, and he probably knows what he wants with Egypt more than Egypt knows what she wants with Sam. And they only been together for 3 months, and they're already living together. Sometimes people move fast. People move very fast. Sometimes you want to take time to get to know somebody, but some people just move really fast because you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who you're with. But by living together, you're going to learn who the mother sucker is. So on that note, they're done with that situation. Pep is trying to be the best supportive mom she can be. She's also trying to be a friend of mom too, which, as long as she says that Egypt knows everything, she goes, whether it goes good or bad, we'll deal with it when it goes bad. And when it gets bad, we'll handle the situation, you know. But right now, everything's good, so let it be. So moving on from that, we have Bree. She meets up with Boogie in the studio. Boogie does look healthy. He does look clean. He doesn't look like he's on drugs, but he's over here telling Bree a lie that he's working 24/7. He's working at the weed dispensary all the time. He's farming, and then on top of that, he's doing a little bit of other things. He come home, he goes to sleep, so he's not drinking. He's not doing that lean. He feels like he doesn't have a problem, and he does not need rehab. So it also seems like Boogie is also in denial. He needs help. Like having a father like Damon Dash, maybe the pressure, maybe the media, maybe he felt like he wasn't loved enough. Maybe the relationship between his mom and Damon Dash wasn't a good relationship. Maybe there's some things that Boogie's seeing that he don't understand, and that hurts him to today, because for him to just be so strung out on drugs is something that happened to him. I don't know if he was abused as a child, he was mistreated, he was picked on, he was teased in school, but it seems like he's not happy and he's lying and he's trying to hide in the shadows. And Bree was like, okay, that's cool. And it's supposed to, and so we get Bree, we learn that she's writing music and she wants to do music with Boogie, but it seems like Boogie is doing music with the drugs and he ain't got time. So after that we have, and Boogie said he's not going to rehab. He don't need the help, and he does need help. He does need rehab. I hope we don't read about an overdose on Boogie. I hope Damon Dash and Pep can actually help him breathe, somebody save his life, so we won't be saying R.I.P. Boogie. No one wants to say that. Damon Dash definitely don't want to say that, but Damon Dash just made a very important point that I've always made when I review TV shows about, like, if there's one cast member that's suffering from alcohol or drug use, why does everybody bring alcohol around the cast members? There's every time, like, there's somebody that's on the cast that's trying not to drink or don't want to drink, everywhere they go they're faced with alcohol. So, like, how the hell do you get better when your job is to be around nothing but alcohol? So he does bring up a good point, but Boogie's situation shouldn't affect other people's situation. Boogie should go get help. So but still, if Boogie did go get help and he went to rehab and he's filming on this show, every time he turned around, the demon's right in front of him. And that's kind of like an awkward situation too as well. But demons are always going to be around you, so you just got to know how to maneuver between them and defeat them and keep moving, right? So moving on from that, we learned that Egypt is up talking to Angela, and they're having a little lunch date because they haven't really seen each other. Angela's letting her know that she's single, and she's not really too happy, but she's single and she's thinking about moving to LA, but she's not too sure if she wants to move to LA or not. And then Egypt, talks about her love life, and so she tells her about Sam with the 2 kids, 25, 2 baby mamas living together. He's a rapper, producer, he helps her with his music. Angela thinks it's a bad situation, and I totally agree with Angela too as well, but Egypt gonna have to learn to make her own mistakes, just like Angela had to make her own mistakes by having a baby out of wedlock and not getting married. And she had to learn her mistakes. She had to learn from her mistakes. And so Egypt would have to learn too as well, because she's invested in Sam, and this is her kind of like first love. Like Angela was like, you only 19, like you're supposed to live, you're supposed to have your own apartment, your own space. Before, you live with your mother, now you're living with a man. You're supposed to have your own freedom, your own space, like live a little, grow a little, enjoy 19. Like, she's so naive, she's so young. And Angela is worried about Egypt because she's very naive and she has an open heart, and people could easily probably come into her life and use her, like everyone insinuating that Sam is using Egypt, but he hasn't done anything yet to make us say that he is using her. It seems like he's actually helping her, because that song on the track that they did last episode with him rapping and Egypt spinning the hooks was good. Like, I would download that song. I would play that. I would play that song. That shit sound lit, especially with DJ Quick's son David, I think, on the beat. I'm like, yo, come on, like that shit was lit. She wasn't getting nowhere with her mother with the music. Pepper's too busy out here chasing these young men and looking young and doing her thing. So, so now we see that Angela's not on board with this shit with, Egypt and this guy. She was like, she deserves better. Like, she comes from a wealthy family. She has all this stuff. And, like, why would she be boggled down with a guy with all this baggage? Of course. But she chose him. She want to be with him. So, I don't know. So hopefully, she stays not getting pregnant. So TT and Egypt, they meet up, they doing boxing classes, and they actually talk. So TT is being a good auntie. She was like, yo, you on your birth control pills? You taking them? Can anybody tamper with your birth control pills? Can anybody mess with your birth control pills? And all this other stuff, because she wants to make sure that Egypt is safe, and she knows that, sometimes people tamper with your pills, like if they want to get you pregnant, just like sometimes females tamper with the condoms when they want to get pregnant, or a male would tamper with the condoms when he wants to get a female pregnant. So she's just making sure she lets her know on that little secret that make sure your shit is protected, that you use your birth control. And so then they end up, talking, and, Egypt mentioned that, Pep her mom was talking to her about Sam. She don't know where the negativity is coming from, because everything with her and Sam is good. It's no problems. it's no issue. But they also did talk about Romeo, and one of the reasons why Briana could be upset is because TT is flirting with Romeo, and it was all hugged up at the last photo shoot, so that could be the issue. So now TT definitely knows that Bree is kind of jealous of the situation, but Egypt also knows that, you know, both of these ladies like Romeo, but you can understand that Egypt would probably want Romeo with her auntie more than she would want him with, you know, Briana, because it's just family. Like, why would you want like a dime piece, you know, somebody that's well established, put together with your auntie? You would want them with them first, just like she will probably want, you know, Briana to be in a good relationship with somebody. But, you know, if she had to pick, she would pick her auntie to be with Romeo first. So anyways, they're gonna sit down, they're gonna have a little party, a game night or whatever, and we'll see how that goes. So we get to Damon Dash. He's at his house, Bree's there, and he's actually talking about Boogie, his alcoholism, his drinking, and people calling him in the late weed hours of the night about Boogie having hangovers, Boogie, you know, almost ODing, and he shows the videotape to Bree, and he lets her know that, you know, Boogie has been lying to you about him working. So Bree's hurt, and then Damon's like, I'm shocked that, you know, Bree's surprised that Boogie is lying to her, because she's a very smart girl. So now Bree knows that Boogie's full of shit, he's full of lies, and he's a dope fiend, and it's sad. So from that situation, it goes down. We get Romeo and Angela. They're looking at houses. They're taking pictures. Everything seems all good. Romeo invites, you know, Angela to Orlando, Florida for this for this liquor, you know, launch and everything like that. She says yes, she's going to go. And they're flirting a little bit like friends, but they're having a good time, and she's happy to be around Romeo. And she feels good around him. But her biggest issue is, you know, people want her to either be with Bow Wow, be with Romeo. I see the best choice is to be with Romeo. Be with whoever you want to be with, girlfriend. You only live once. You know what I'm saying? If you want Romeo, go with him, get with him. If you don't, then keep it moving. And so Angela, you know, Egypt invited Angela to the game night. She said no, because she don't want to be bothered. Angela doesn't want to film with nobody. She don't want to film with many of the cast members all together, because she doesn't want that drama. She doesn't want to be around TT or Briana. Point blank, period. Them two, she don't want to be around. So if they're in the facility, she's not coming through. And so she's going to hang out with her friend, somebody, whoever she is. And so while now is game night, but before then we get the Vision Learn glasses for kids, where Master P and actually Romeo go into the community for impoverished children and hand out them glasses so they'll be able to read and understand and see things and be able to get an education, because glasses are expensive. So kudos to Master P and Romeo for really living the life. Like really doing good, because people just don't understand how important glasses are to kids, especially if your kid breaks his glasses and they can't get them fixed. It costs $350, $450 to get them fixed, and all this other stuff. You just really, and then if you have to get state glasses, they are horrible. So moving on from that, now is game night. Everybody's at the party except for Vanessa and Angela and Master P and Romeo. They're not there so far. So everybody else show up. Dame, he shows up. He's there. He's chilling. He's having a good time. DJ Quickson is there. Sam is there. Egypt's there. You know, Troy's there. TT's there. Pep's there. And, you know, Christinia, she shows up. She's there. She shows her support. Dame comes through, and, you know, they're having a conversation in the kitchen, and they end up, you know, Egypt ends up asking Dame about Boogie, and he explains that, you know, he's strung out. He hasn't seen him. He hasn't talked to him. He needs help. Please, nobody offer him drinks or alcohol. Don't offer him any drugs, because he has a problem. And so then that's when, you know, Pep was like, oh, I really love my Boogie. And then that's when Dame says, well, if you really love him, don't offer him a drink. Don't give him a drink. Don't give him alcohol. Then Dame elaborates that the last time Boogie came to your house, he hasn't been drinking. He hasn't been doing drugs. And then when you offered him that drink, that's when he spiraled down. So Dame is kind of like throwing the blame at, you know, Pep, because when Boogie said, oh no, I shouldn't have a drink, Pep insisted, but Pep didn't know that Boogie's situation was that bad. But any adult, when a child says, I don't want to drink, you should walk away. But sometimes it doesn't happen if the adult is drinking too as well. Excuse me. So that cough came out of nowhere. So Dame is actually pissed with Pep. And he didn't have to go all out on her like that because she didn't know his situation, just like he didn't know how bad his son's situation was until Briana told him that, hey, I think he's doing lean, I think he's doing pills, I think he's doing some other shit. So Pep feels really guilty, so now she's trying to defend herself, and she says she recalls the moment, and now she wants to do something to get Boogie clean and help him out. So because she feels responsible. She just got read in her own house and disrespected in her own house, which, you know, is real. Like, people would say you shouldn't offer him alcohol, you shouldn't be hanging with young people, but shit, it is her house, and she thought it was a safe place, that Boogie would be all right, nothing would happen, he'll get home in an Uber. But she didn't know his situation, she didn't know what he was going through, and Dame is pissed about that. But Boogie was going to relapse anyway, because Boogie is not ready to face that he does have a problem, and he just relapsed at Pep's house, if that's the case, because we don't even know if Boogie was drinking before he even entered Pep's house. Who knows? I told you, I thought in that episode when I reviewed it last year that I thought he was drunk before he came to Pep's house. I thought he was already intoxicated, like he was on pills and he was drinking. I already said that. So I don't think it has nothing to do with Pep. So Pep, don't take that, don't carry that weight. So then Briana comes in, she sees, you know, Dame is on his way out the door. He was like, peace him out. You know, Dame has to be theatrical, he has to be the diva, that's how just Dame is. And he was pissed too. And then Pep seems like she was slurring her words. Pep seemed like she was a little intoxicated too as well, but she got a point across being intoxicated. So moving on from that, we have Bree that is there. Her and Christina is like hi, like nasty hi, bye or whatever. So now this is the moment that Bree wants to use to talk to, you know, Troy, TT, and Egypt and Sam, because, you know, Bree met up with Troy, and Troy let Bree know that he heard from TT or Sam that, or Egypt, that, you know, Bree was trying to flirt with Sam and give her his phone number. And Bree said, the only reason why I gave him my phone number is because I heard that he's producing her, and I write songs, and I want to know if any of these songs I would have wrote that he would use. And it makes perfectly good sense, because Bree knows Egypt. She knows her personally. They are a friend. So her writing a song for Egypt would be so, like, the thing, it would be it, because she's actually writing a song for Egypt, who she knows, who she understands, and writing a song for her could probably make a hit too as well. So, but anyways, it's taken like she wanted Sam, and I don't think Sam is actually Bree's type, point blank period, at all. So anyways, she calls them to a side because she wants to talk to all them, and it cuts to, we gotta wait till next episode. So peace and all, one love.